the masses. Please welcome Randi Hipper. I do not have the mic.
We got to put the technologies down for a second. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Litecoin Summit. Let's go. How do you guys feel? Come on, let's go. Let's go. I see you guys sitting. We could enjoy the energy in here right now. It's great to see every single one of you guys. This energy in the room is electric. And guys, we gotta talk about something right now. We gotta talk about growing up. Because growing up is hard, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things, especially in this day and age, that we're faced with. And one thing you have to know about growing up is that it requires energy, putting in that work. And we know that quite well. Especially, you could look back at someone who did that and executed it quite perfectly, creating the best money there is. Satoshi Nakamoto, back in 2008 to 2009, just birthed a baby called Bitcoin. And it changed the world forever. Looking at the white paper, just knowing that you could send a transaction, send money. And what is money? Value, information, peer-to-peer, with no financial intermediaries, 24/7, 365. It's not discriminatory. And that is something that is super special, especially the fact that it progressed at a rapid pace with people believing in it. And especially with that energy put in, obviously proof of work, putting in that energy to power those computers in order to create more Bitcoin and then spread that Bitcoin across the world. We could fast forward a few years to 2011. Litecoin was another creation with another man putting in that work, Charlie Lee, the man, this is why we're here today. And then we could fast forward to 2016, where sometimes this energy that we feel, especially in crypto, can make you crazy or make other people think you're crazy. And I had that experience firsthand, and I thought my dad was crazy. Back in 2016, I was only 13 years old. I was an ignorant little child. I was out here hearing my dad talk about this Bitcoin because he heard this guy that was a truck driver named Bitcoin Ben on Facebook talking about this Bitcoin. My dad thought this was like a physical coin, and it's kind of cool. We have those physical coins here today, Ballet Wallet. They have a full Litecoin on a physical coin. Go check that out. I was like, what is this Bitcoin thing that he's talking about? I thought he was absolutely insane. He was on the internet, talking to people on the internet, and then going to meet these internet people in real life, which most of them are here today, and now they're my family, where I thought this is never something I'll even look into. Bitcoin, numbers, math, adulting. Nah, I couldn't do that. I thought you had to be like some millionaire to buy Bitcoin or invest in stocks. You had to go to school for that stuff. You're nuts, dude. By the time I was 16 in 2019, my dad's coming home from this thing called Litecoin Summit. And I was like, this man just left me and my sister alone at a relative's house to go meet people on the internet to talk about internet money. Okay, I guess I gotta take a second. I gotta listen a little bit closer. And we did something magical, a transaction. And I saw how easy it was. You copy a QR code, you copy and paste an address or a username, and you could transact with anyone, no matter where they are in the world, basically instantly. And wait, hold on, you own this thing. There's a digital wallet, just like there's the Venmos, the PayPals, but except this is a different currency. A one with 21 million, a cap supply, where I realized that my few $100s in the bank account is not going well. This was pre-COVID, this was pre-massive inflation, money printer going everywhere. So I was looking at my few $100s in my bank account. I was taught growing up, keep your money in the bank. That's where it's safe. And you know what? You'll earn this interest thing where you keep your money in there and it'll just give you more money. Oh, well, that was too good to be true, wasn't it? Because my few $100 was still a few $100, and the value was actually going down. That I couldn't buy as much as I could even 5 years before that. And you can ask my dad how much burgers at McDonald's were and how easy it was to really get away with having a single dollar It took you so far. You could get a whole week's worth of lunch at school for that. Now we go into the store. What are you buying for $1? You're lucky you can find an Arizona iced tea under $1 still. So I was just kind of sitting there, wondering, how do I make this move? So obviously I was too young to be on an exchange yet. I was pre-18. So I was like, you know what? We're going to do a transaction, Dad. I'm going to give you my money. You're going to give me some cryptocurrency. And I thought that this was the best way to not only have an investment, but it wasn't really an investment to me. It was freedom, because I'm able to be my own bank. And you could say Bitcoin was boring at the time. What was going on? Transactions, money going back and forth. There was nothing really going on in 2016, 2019. Of course, you had the 2017 ICO phase that was way above my head at the time. But what was really important was those fundamentals to me. The fact that no one can take this money away from me when I've always been taught the opposite. Let somebody have that control over you. Let somebody take that power away from you. And it is power that they're taking. Because why are we in crypto? Being your own bank, being in control, and going back to the fundamentals of America almost, we the people. We have these inalienable natural human rights of life, liberty, and property. That's what this country was founded on. But I also know that it's not just this country that needs to embrace that, because I feel like even now we're losing it. It needs to be the entire world. I realized that I had to go to school, had to go to my family and tell them about this revolutionary thing called Bitcoin. Had to tell them about Litecoin too, because it was fast, it was cheap, it was easy. And it was obviously everywhere where Bitcoin was listed. These two assets drove me insane because I went to school, nobody knew about it. I went to my family, they're like, no, this is not what you should be into. So I was like, whatever. I was a major nerd in high school. My overall average for all 4 years was a 97. So I was a nerd. I was tutoring, I was into physics, I was into math, I was a year ahead in math, I was, taking psychology, and I thought about the psychology of people. I love psychology because it really makes you wonder how people work. And I wondered, how does that psychology come into crypto? Because we have this major idea of, again, self-sovereignty. Then I learned about technical analysis. You look at the charts. There's red, there's green. And that tells you what people are thinking. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they panicking? Or are they sending this thing to the moon and beyond? I knew I had to play some sort of role. I didn't care what it was, whether just transacting, tweeting, something. I had to do something with myself. And I asked my friends. Like I said, I was a complete nerd, getting picked on by all these people that were like, she's just a nerd in the corner, let her do my homework or something. And I just decided, you know what, if I'm already weird, if I'm already a nerd, I'll become a super nerd. So I decided one day to create something. And it took me a while. I went to my family and I said, man, crypto is so beautiful, and we need to do something about this. But I didn't know what to do. And then I was following all the beautiful Litecoin family on X, on my high school X account. And I realized that maybe I want to be part of the community for real. It was lockdown, April 2020. I was 17, a junior in high school, supposed to be planning going to college. So I was applying, I got in, I got some scholarships, but it started not to mean anything to me. Because I realized that the system was broken. And that's why I really got pushed to create my account. So like I said, I was 17. I was at a park, April 2020. Everybody was so sad. And I missed going into school and saying good morning to everybody, bringing them some fresh baked cookies. And I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go on X and create this account called missteencrypto. Girl, teenager, crypto. All right, we got the point. I saw that it was digital real estate. And we kind of go over this with guests here like Theo, where digital domains, that's property. Just like Bitcoin is property, so is your name on the internet. And I saw, okay, Instagram, X, Snapchat, YouTube, all available. I took it. And I took advantage of it. I tweeted and I was like, hello world, I'm here, let's spread adoption. And people were like, oh my God, there's a girl and she's a teenager, what is going on here? No, you guys know they were shook. And I just had to soak that in. I was like, guys, don't be scared. I'm just a girl in the world. I'm here to just spread adoption. Can we be friends? And I made some friends. And I realized that I could make friends. Because in high school, like I said, I was a nerd. I was just in the corner somewhere. And I wasn't in the corner in crypto. I was a part of a family. And I realized that quite quick, especially with the Litecoin Foundation, all the Litecoiners that are here today that really encouraged me to keep going. When I first got on, there was some stigma, oh my gosh, but they pushed me through, and that was everything to me. So I went to my friends, I went in school over that summer, and people were a little salty, like the ocean. They were not happy. Family was not happy. I went into high school, so it was April I created the account, had summer, no one really knew what I was up to until September. I came back to school. And they were not happy. I was, going into school. I had teachers coming up to me saying, Randy, are you doing like this missteencrypto thing? Is that your account? I was like, yeah. Oh, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. You shouldn't be doing that. Bitcoin's too dangerous. You shouldn't be doing that. You should actually delete your account. Yes, that was said to me. The audacity. I then went to my family, and I said, guys, we're on the brink of madness here. It was 2020. I said, the banks are gonna fail. I said, the system is broken. Inflation is taking over. 40 to 50% of our money supply was printed between 2020 and 2021. Obviously, who's gonna pay the consequences for that? It's not gonna be the 1%. It's gonna be you and I. They thought I was crazy. They were like, nope, you shouldn't be doing crypto. You should not be doing this. And I said, I'm gonna keep doing that because I have my dad and my sister behind me, and I have the community behind me. Who else do I need? And that was the most important thing. I realized that being kind of set apart from everybody else was a good thing, because I had, toward the end of my senior year, obviously the account was doing quite well, and I was getting published in things like the New York Times, Business Insider, so it started to catch the attention of my principal. He came up to me, he's like, this is your thing? And I said, yeah, and he was like, oh, Bitcoin's a little bit weird. I was like, okay, that's fine. So then I went in the hallway, I was walking around, and I saw that my guidance counselor came up to me. He's like, Randy, can I talk to you? Yeah, sure, what's up, dude? Everyone's talking about you. Teachers, students. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I'm good. He's like, they're scared. I was like, why are they scared? I was like, they just don't understand. And he was like, you know what? That's the reason why you have potential to make it. And that one person believing in me like that is in a building where hundreds of people didn't, lit that fire under me even more. I was supposed to go to college after I graduated high school, and I realized that missteencrypto was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the world. And I said, you know what? I have my dad, I have my sister, I have my community. They understand me. And Bitcoin's not going anywhere. And soon enough, everybody else will understand as well. Soon that started to become a reality, because then we had 2020 Uniswap coming out. All these grocery store tokens, the pickles, and all these, the cakes and all these things coming out. I was like, okay, guys, this is getting a little bit rambunctious. Then we had NFTs come out. Oh my gosh, digital collectibles, where we could actually own it too. I started minting NFTs in 2020. I said, so not only does Bitcoin, Litecoin, and crypto give you the opportunity to be your own bank, but NFTs and now ordinals give you the opportunity to be your own art gallery, your own record label, where we do not need people to give us permission to share our energy, our value, our information. There was no permission there. I was so empowered. I started minting those NFTs like they were hotcakes. I kept going and realized that gaming is a thing in Web3, that this is also going to be a catalyst for mainstream adoption, that everyday people like you and I are the ones that get to influence the world. That, like I said, this is a revolution. We see now that, all of a sudden we have the permission of BlackRock and all these individuals that said that Bitcoin was bad. Why would you buy Bitcoin? The biggest bankers in the world telling you not to buy this stuff. That's when you make the the opposite move. When everybody tells you one thing, well, maybe try the other thing and see how it works out. Because sometimes not everybody's going to understand you. Not everybody is going to embrace an idea that they've been taught their whole lives the opposite. And that's kind of what we have to realize throughout growing up in crypto, that we're all growing up in crypto. This technology is still so early. I believe more than 90% of the world has not touched cryptocurrency yet. And that is a dramatic number because look at where Bitcoin's at now. Over $60,000. When I was talking about things in high school, Bitcoin crypto, it was $7,000. And all the people that told me that it would not work, they came running back and said, hey, maybe this thing is interesting. Especially my former principal came to me when the year after I graduated, I was back at my former high school teaching investing classes about Bitcoin. So less than a year later, we saw how much of a change that can happen. There's going to be so much more of this. Right now, we're dealing with payments. We're still trying to make that part mainstream. But what about all the utility tokens? What about all these NFTs? What about all the games, the ordinals? This is such a bright and beautiful space that is changing lives everywhere. There's nobody that can stop us. And that's what people have to realize, that people our entire lives, again, have been taught to ask for permission, to bow down to somebody else, when we don't have to do that anymore. It's about you. It's about your decisions. It's about making yourself happy and influencing the change in the world. Because we know with fiat funds all of these horrible things that go on in the world. And why is that? Because we allow it to have value. We allow these people to control our lives using this currency. And the unfortunate thing is that most people on the street, if you ask them what inflation is, if you ask them what Bitcoin is, they still don't know. But you know what? It's not that unfortunate because it provides so much room for us to grow. The fact that Bitcoin is 60 grand right now, and such a small part of the global population is part of it, that should make you even more bullish. That should make you want to ape into the technology. I'm not telling you guys, buy Bitcoin, send it to the moon, because honestly, it's not about the finance. If you go to the airport and you're swapping your US dollars for euros, are you concerned about the price fluctuation? Oh my gosh, the euro has gone up 5% this week. I'm gonna make some gains on my, no, that's not how it works. You just exchange one currency for the other because you need it, because you want it, because you're valuing that other item more than the item you had before. We're gonna see so much more of that, especially at a point where people all over the world are experiencing something called hyperinflation. They're getting robbed of their everyday life. They're being devalued in every which way possible, where an average family, the American dream, is slowly dying because as a Gen Z, how much of us Gen Z are gonna be able to own a home? How can we afford a home when just the prices keep getting higher and the wages keep getting lower or staying the same? This is why we need Bitcoin. We need something that's finite, something that nobody can change, something that you're empowered by, something that you own. It's so important that we realize that this is something we have to spread throughout the world. And I'm not telling you guys to go bananas like me and talk to strangers on the streets. I'm not telling you to do that. But I am telling you to be part of the revolution. Simply by owning cryptocurrency and putting it in your wallet, that's a sign of resilience. That's a sign of you saying that I am ready to take that responsibility. I don't need anybody else. And other people are going to realize that self-custody and Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, maintaining your value is a necessity. What about those people out of the 5 bank failures last year? The people standing outside SVB and all of these banks wondering if they were going to get their money. They were lining up outside like it was Black Friday at Best Buy trying to get a new flat screen TV, except they were just hoping that they could feed their family that weekend. They went on their magical bank app and they were like, it says there's money on here, but oh, I can't do anything with that because my bank is so messed up and they failed on me. You never want to be one of those people in line hoping that you could feed your family. And you also don't want to be the guy that has all this money under his mattress because you're posing a physical risk to yourself. versus Bitcoin and crypto where you're maintaining your value, nobody can take it from you, and you don't have to worry about a bank telling you that you have your money and that you can survive. It's all about survival. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're on that list. It's literally a part of your day list. Okay, I have my Bitcoin. I have my certain things that are going to keep me safe. And Bitcoin is that safety. Bitcoin is growing. Only 15 years old, Litecoin, Bitcoin, they're just teenagers. We know what we were like when we were teenagers, just figuring out life. And Bitcoin and Litecoin and cryptocurrency, DeFi, now Politify, is figuring its way through the world of technology, the revolution we're a part of. So if there's anything I have to say to you guys today, is never give up. That this is something that you are in control of, that now the people are empowered by, and when we fix the money, we are going to fix the world. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate every single one of you. My name is Randi Hipper at missteencrypto. Have a great day.
I don't need it. I don't need the mic, thank you. No, I'm good.
Excuse me, Mr. Marty.
I know, great job. Probably should have opened with her. Get the energy up.